So hello and welcome to this Adobe Animate tutorial. Today we are going to create this HTML5 animated banner, and right now you can see what we are going to be doing. This tutorial is going to be a little bit different because this animation we are not going to create with like classic tween or the motion tween, but all of the tutorial we are going to, all of the animations we are going to create with JavaScript and with Createjs Animations. So I have the very similar tutorial where I show how you can create this very easily with just classic tweens, and I can put that in the description. But this can be like really useful for you if you want to create some animations with the JavaScript. A few things that I want to say before we will start. One of them is that in this tutorial I am not going to show you how you can prepare banners like this for the Google Ads, but I am going to provide the link in the description for the tutorial where I am showing that. And also I have like a long tutorial about the Createjs Animations, and I'm going to put also the tutorial in the description because in that tutorial I go to like many details, and this is just one of the practical ways how you can use Createjs Animations. But enough of me talking. This is what we are going to do. This is going to be a lot of code, and right now we can start. Alright, so right now I am on the site Pixabay, and I am going to provide the links in the description, and I am also going to provide you the smaller images that I am going to adjust in the Photoshop right now. So in the Pixabay you can use these images for free, and all you need to do is click download. Then you can choose what the size do you want. I can go with the second one, and all you need to do is click download, and then you can download this. Okay, I am going to hit cancel because I already saved this, and yeah. I am going to use these three images. You can use any images that you want, but I will go with these three that I have. So right now I will go to the place where I have them, and I have one folder where I have my images, and these are the images that I have downloaded. And if I just right click and I go to the properties and I go to the details, you can see that it is like 1280 by 848, and I adjusted them in the Photoshop. So right now I am going to have all of them which are going to be if I go to the details 500 by 600. So basically I can show you with one image, but I am going to provide you them. So I am in the Photoshop and I can go with 500 by 600. I want this to be pixels, RGB, resolution 72, and so on. So I will just hit the create, and what I would do is I would go to the place where I have the original images, and I can drag the image in here like so. Okay, like this. Now I can go ahead and I can scale this, so I can go with Ctrl T or Command T, and I am just going to hold Alt or Option to scale this to go from the center like so. Okay, and I am just going to go with Enter, and right now I can with my Shift and arrows choose what part of the image that I would like to. So you can choose like so, but I can go maybe with something like this. And then what you need to do is just export this. So you can go with File, you can go with Export, and you can go with Export as. And I want this to be JPEG. And when we are in the Adobe Animate and when we are creating HTML5 animated banner, especially when you are using this for the Google Ads, you want to have the file size as small as possible. So I wouldn't go with the quality the 7, or I wouldn't go with the quality of 6, but maybe I would go with 5, but that's still too big. So I would go maybe with 4. That would be like 35 kilobytes. That's probably fine. We can also adjust this later on in the Adobe Animate, but yeah. So all you need to do is click export, and you can export this and you can call this as you want. So I will just hit cancel because I already have this. So hopefully this makes sense. So yeah, I have the folder with the image 1, image 2, and image 3, and they are like all 500 by 600. Okay, so I will provide you this, but yeah, right now we can start. So I will go to the Adobe Animate, and I'm going to create new document, Ctrl N, Command N, or File New, and I'm going to choose the size, which is size for the Google Ads, which is going to be 300 by 600. I want this to be HTML5 canvas. Frame rate I am going to keep as a default 24, and I am just going to click create. Okay, and I will just close the window that I had, And now what I'm going to do is I am just going to select all of the images and I'm going to drag them to the Adobe Animate like so. Now when I drag them to the Adobe Animate, they are automatically going to be in the library. So if you are in the properties, you can go to the library and you are going to have them. So what I can do is on the stage one by one, I can delete them and we can start. So I will start with the image one and I am going to drag it to the stage like so. And now what I need to do is I need to convert this to the symbol. So I am going to click on this and I will go with modify convert to symbol or F8. And I want this to be a movie clip and I can call this to be image 1, for example. And I would like to put the registration point to the left corner like so, okay? We would like to put the registration point to the left corner and I'm going to click OK. And the thing is that when we are going to get this, and you will see this in the moment, when we are going to get this with the JavaScript from the library and we are going to have the registration point in here, it is going to position me this in here like so, okay? So right now I can delete this and I can just very quickly show you with some kind of shape. So I can go with maybe blue color, that registration point one more time, so this makes sense. If I would convert this to the symbol and I make registration point to the center and I add it to the stage, it is going to have like 0x and 0y in here. And if I would put the registration point to the corner and I would add it from the library, it would have the 0 in here like so. Sometimes with the images, even if you put the registration point in the center, it's not going to put you this like so, but it's anyway going to put it like this. But that's not important, but yeah, you will see all of this. Okay, so I am just going to delete this, and what I'm going to do is I will go to my library. And I have in here my images, and you can see that the icons are a little bit different. And then I have the movie clip image 1, and now I need to create a linkage. This is the name by which we are going to be targeting this with the JavaScript. So I can call this also to be image 1, or I can call this to be my image 1 or anything. I can go, for example, with my image 1. This name is really optional and it has nothing to do with this name. So like this, and yeah. Now I will go to my code, so I'm going to right click and I'm going to choose actions, and right now we can start. So what I need to do is I need to create a variable, so I'm going to type let, and I'm going to call this, for example, image1, or I can call this to be my image1. This really doesn't matter, and this has nothing to do with the linkage name, so I can call this to be, I don't know, I can go with image1, and I'm going to make this equal to be new lib, which stands for the library, and the linkage name that we have created. So I'm going to go with my image1 and then the parentheses like so. And the semicolon is optional in the JavaScript at the end of the line. I can use it, I do not need to, but I will use this. So yeah, this is the name that we have created as a linkage. If you would call this to be image1, that would be fine, and it's fine to have the variable name image1 and this name image1. There's not going to be any issue, but yeah, I will call this, I call this my image1, so you can see it in here. So I will have to call this my image1. If I want, I can call also this to be my image1. These names are optional, but yeah, I will go with image1 like so, and yeah, and right now if I go with Control Enter, Command Enter, nothing is going to happen. Okay, I can go with F12, or you can right click and go with inspect in the Google Chrome. Also in other browsers it's similar, and you can go to the console, and in here you would have some kind of error. I have something in here, I am not really sure why I have this, it started to appearing in here, but that's not the point. So if you are going to have some kind of error, you are going to have the red color, and we will see some kind of error because we are going to create some errors intentionally. So what we need to do is we need to, right now we have this in the variable, this from the library, but right now we will have to put this to the stage. So I'm going to type that stage dot add the child like so. This has to be, the C has to be capital, so add child, and we are going to add child image1 like so, and I can just paste this like this, and I can go right now with Control Enter, and we are going to have our image in here like so. I will just show you that there is also possibility to do not have this in the variable, so I can comment out this line of code, so / is going to comment out the line of code, and I could type that stage add child, and I could go like I can copy this and I can put it in here like so. So we can add child, which is going to be new library image1 like so, and this is still going to be working. But in this case, we are not going to have this in the variable, and we are not going to be able to like create the changes. So yeah, I will go back a couple of times, and I am going to uncomment this, and yeah. So now, if I go back to my Adobe Animate, I am going to, for the moment, put this image1 on the stage like so, and I can zoom in a little bit with Control or Command and mouse wheel. And by the way, if you cannot see things outside of the stage, there is this clip content outside of the stage, but yeah. And right now, the 0x and 0y is going to be in here. So it is going to position me this in here like so. But if I would in the JavaScript set that x position is going to be 100, it is going to position me this in here. So in here, when I go like this, the 0 position of x is going to be in here. We have the stage which is 300, so 300x is going to be in here. So I can just show you. If I go to my code, I can type that image1.x is going to be equal to 100, for example, and I will go with Control Enter, and we are going to be able to see that in here we are going to have this empty space because it is going to put the x in here. And the same thing, like we have the stage which is like 300, so if I would put this to be like 280, for example, it is going to put it like so. And the same thing, because we are going to animate this, I will put this one more time temporarily to the stage. If I would like to put the image to be like so, right now the x position would be -200, okay? Because the whole image is like 500 pixels. If I go in here like so, this is going to be like x -100, and if I go like this, it would be x -200. If I would go like this, the x would be -300. So yeah, this is important because we are going to be animating this from the left to the right. So if I would type in here that x is going to be -200 like so, we are going to have the image, but we are going to, you can see, let me close this one, that it is going to be on the left side. And you can just see very quickly, I can show you that if I would put this to be -300, then we are going to have this on the left, and we are going to have this blank space. Okay, now we are going to create the animation with the Createjs Animations. Let me go in here and type Createjs twin like so, and I can provide you this in the description. This is just a Createjs documentation like so, and yeah, here is the code. As I told you at the beginning, I have a tutorial about this, and I can put the link in the description. So I am not going to explain all of the details about this in here, but I can show you at least a little bit, because we are going to use this. So first of all, I am going to type this, and later on we can try to copy this and see the differences. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type Createjs. There is like possibility to misspell this. Sometimes I misspell this, but Createjs dot twin like so. And the T has to be capital, otherwise it's not going to be working. Then we will have to have another dot and get like so. So this is something that you are always going to have with the Createjs animation. You are going like the twins. You are going to have Createjs. You want to have the twin, then the thing that you want to get, and I will put this to the parentheses like so. So I would like to get the image one like so. So I am just going to copy this and paste it like so. Okay, then we are going to have dot, and we are going to set that we want to animate this too. Okay, then I am going to create parentheses, and inside of the parentheses I am going to create a curly braces. And in the curly braces, I am going to say to where I want to position or what I want to change. So I would like to change the X position, okay? And then I go with colon. And where I would like to position the X, I would like to position X to be minus 200. So we are going to, let me go one more time in here. Initially it's going to be in here, and the X is going to be 0, and we would like to animate this or position this like so to X minus 200. So I will just delete it. I just wanted to show you like so. So this is what we are going to have in this curly braces, and then after the curly braces, but still in the parentheses, I will just type a comma, and I will type how long this should take. So if I'm going to type 1000, this means like 1000 milliseconds, so this is 1 second. If I'm going to type 3000, this is like the 3 seconds. Okay, and one more time, semicolon at the end of the line is optional. I have this in here, I have this in here, I don't have it in here, but yeah, but it's still going to be working, but I can put it like so. But right now, if I go with Control Enter, Command Enter, we are going to have this this animation like so. Okay, so one more time I will try to just very quickly. We have Createjs, twin and get. This is something that you always have. So we have Createjs, we want twin, we want to get something. What do we want to get? We want to get image 1. Okay, we would like to position these two. We have the parentheses, and inside of the parentheses we have curly braces. In here we are setting the X position. In here we could have Y position, we could have rotation, we could have alpha, we could have scale X, we could have scale Y. All of that I explained in the tutorial for the Createjs, and this is just how long this is going to take. Let's go to the side of the like Createjs and Twin.js, and in here we have these codes. They are pretty similar, okay, but they have like a few differences. But I can go for example with this one, and I am just going to copy this, and I am going to paste it to the Adobe Animate. So I will go in here, and I am just going to paste this. So we are going to have Create.js, okay, we are going to have the twin, we are going to have the get. Okay, then we are going to have the target. This is the thing that we want to have, and then they also have this some additional thing like override true. Okay, I can delete this one more time. This is something that I explained in the tutorial about Createjs Animations, so I'm not going to explain this. This is something which is optional, and this is like when you have more twins, whether this is going to override the other one or not. But yeah, I will just delete this. So we have the target, and in the target I can type image 1. Okay, then they have like the same thing, two parentheses, curly braces. They have the X to be 100. I have the X to be minus 200, and they don't have this in here this time, so I could type comma and 3000 like so, and right now the code is going to be the same, so I could comment out this one, and I can go with Control Enter, and we are going to have the same thing. Okay, so now I can I don't know delete this one, and I can uncomment this one, and yeah. Now what we can do also, they have this in this other example, but I cannot go with all of the examples, but there is like this dot, call, and call some function. So I will go to the Adobe Animate, and in here, after the parentheses, like so, I can get rid of the semicolon for the moment. And I can type dot, and I can type call, and I can put the parentheses, and what function do we want to call. So I am just going to call the function which is going to be like animation done, for example, like so. Okay, one more time, semicolon is optional, and now I will have to create the function. So I'm going to type function, and I will just copy this because I do not want to misspell this. So I will just go with Control C, and I will go in here, Control V, and just the function. So function animation done, parentheses, curly braces, and for now in here I can just console.log and I am going to, in the quotation marks, done. So now what is going to happen is we are going to have this twin animation. It's going to take 3 seconds. I will put this to 5 seconds to be 5000. So I'm going to have time to open the console. And then when this animation is going to be done, when we are going to have like 5 seconds, then after the 5 seconds, we are going to call another function. And in this another function, for now, we are just going to have the console.log. So I will go with Control Enter, and I'm going to go with F12. And when the animation is going to finish, in here I am going to have this done. I can refresh this one more time, but yeah, you will see we have done. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the image number 2, I'm going to put it to the stage like so, and I'm going to convert it to the symbol. It doesn't matter, you do not need to be aligned like so. When you are going to convert it to the symbol, you can be anywhere, because it is going to convert this anyway to the symbol properly. So I am just going to position this somewhere. I will go with F8 and I want this to be movie clip, and I am going to call this to be image number 2. And one more time, the registration point I would like to have at the left up corner, and I'm going to click OK. And one more time, I am going to call this to be my image number 2, and yeah. Now I'm going to delete it from the stage, and I'm going to go back to my code with F9, or you can right click and yeah, you know, right click actions, and yeah. So right now, instead of calling the function animation done, I am going to call the function which is going to be, for example, second animation or second image or anything. So I am just going to call the function which is going to be second animation, and I will have to change the name, second animation, and I will get rid of this console.log. And in the second animation, what I would like to do is one more time I will have to create the variable for the image 2, and one more time I will have to add it to the stage. Temporarily I am going to do this in the function, but later on I will put this up in here. You will see why. But yeah, I can copy this line of code, so I will go with Ctrl C and Ctrl V. So I am just going to create a variable which is going to be let image number 2, not 3, image number 2, and it is going to be new library my image number 2. Okay, this is just the same thing, but right now we have you know, image number 2, so we are going to add image number 2, and we are going to store this in the variable which is image 2, and then we are going to one more time create copy this code. So right now I'm going to have stage add child image number 2 and yeah. Okay, so right now what is going to happen is I can go with Control Enter, and we are going to have the first image. It is going to be animating, and after 5 seconds we are going to switch to the second image like so. Now what I can do is I can copy all of these Createjs twin. So I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it to the second animation. And all we need to do in here is change the target, because we want to have Createjs, we want to have the twin, we want to have the get, and we want to get right now image number 2. And we want to do the same thing, so we would like to position it to x to be minus 200, and we want this to happen in 5 seconds. And for now we are going to get rid of this calling the function. This is the thing which is optional in the Createjs animations. It depends if you want to call something or not after the animation. For now I am going to get rid of that. Later on we are going to call the third animation in here. Okay, and right now what I'm going to do is I will go with Control Enter, Command Enter, and we are going to have the first one, and then we are going to have the second one like so. Now one thing that I would like to do, because later on we will have to do this, is when I go to the second animation, I would like to hide the image 1. We do not necessarily need it at this point, because you know, we are going to like have the image, let me go like this, we are going to have the image 1 and it is going to be like animated like so, and then when we call the second animation function, we are going to have the image 2 like so. So the image 1 is not going to be visible because this one is going to be over it and it is going to be animated like so. But I would like to anyway hide the image 1 because later on we are going to make this as a loop. So what I'm going to do is in the second animation I'm going to type that image 1 dot visible is going to be equal to false. Okay, this is not for now going to affect the animation, so right now I will go with Ctrl Enter and we are going to have the press animation, and then when we are going to have the second animation it's going to look the same, but right now we have hidden the first image like so. Okay, I will want to put the this LED image number 2 and stage add child image number 2. I'm going to cut this for the moment and I would like to paste this in here like so, but I will do this in a second because I would like to show you why. Okay, now if I am going to have this like so, and on this Createjs twin get image number 2 I am going to call the thread animation. So I will just go to the end and I am going to type dot call, and we are going to call in the parentheses thread animation like so, and I will have to create the function. So I will just copy this to don't misspell this, and I will go outside of the function like so, and I'm going to type function thread animation like so, parentheses, curly braces, and yeah. Now what I need to do is one more time I need to go to my library and I need to get the image number 3 like so, and I will have to convert it to the symbol. So F8, I can call this to be image number 3. One more time, the movie clip and the registration point and the left up corner. Okay, and I am going to call this to be the same as other ones, so this is going to be my image number 3 and there, and I can right now delete this. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the same thing. So I am going to copy this, Ctrl C, and I'm going to paste this in here, Ctrl V. So we are just going to one more time go let image number 3 is going to be new library image number 3, and we are going to go stage add child image number 3, so something like this. Okay, and right now I can one more time just copy the Createjs animation. So I'm just going to copy this, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and right now all I need to change in here is that right now I would like to target image number 3. Okay, so for now everything should be working fine. So we are going to have the first one. I will just open the console to make sure. Then we are going to have the second one, and then we are going to have the third one, and then it is going to stop like so. Okay, it's not going to stop because let me get rid of this calling of thread animation like so. So for now I do not want to have this. So one more time I will go with Ctrl Enter. We are just going to have the first one, we are going to have the second one, and then we are going to have the third one, and then it is going to stop. Okay, and one more time F12 just to make sure that I don't have any error. And yeah, now the thing is that if I would like to hide the image number 2 when I'm going to call the thread animation, so if I'm going to copy this image 1 visible to be false, and I am going to paste this in here like so, but right now I'm going to change this to be image 2 visible is going to be equal to false, we are going to get an error. Okay, so I will just show you. We will have to wait few moments. So the first one, the second one, and then we are going to get the error that image 2 is not defined. And why image 2 is not defined? That's something with the scope. And basically when I declare the variable outside of the functions, like in the main scope, I am going to have the access to the variable everywhere in here, and I am going to have the access to the variable in the functions and anywhere. But if I declare the variable in the function, so for example in here I have the function second animation, and I am declaring the variable let image number 2 is new library image number 2, I am going to have access to this variable only inside of this function. Okay, because when I define the variable in the function, I will have access only in the function. But then I have another function, like a function third animation, and in this function I am trying to change the image to visible is going to be false. But we do not have the variable image2 in this function, and we do not have the variable image2 in the main scope. We have it only in here, so we cannot access it. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to get all of these variables and adding to the stage out of the functions, and I am going to put them to the main scope. So I am just going to cut this, and I am going to paste this in here. I can create a little bit of the space like so, and I'm going to put it like this. And the same thing I'm going to do with this one. So I'm just going to cut this, and I'm going to paste this in here like so. Okay, so this is what we want to do. And if you want, you do not need to have the space like so, but I just want to make a space, so we are just going to differentiate it a little bit. So we are going to create all of the variables in the main scope, so that we are going to be able to access them in all of the functions. And as I said, if we would declare the variable in the function, we cannot access it in the other functions. Now what I will have to do is I will have to create some kind of adjustments. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I am going to create the function also for the first animation, because right now we have the function for the second animation, we have the function for the third animation, but I would like to also create the function for the first animation, because for the first animation we have this animation just in the main scope. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to call the function, which is going to be first like so, first animation like so, and I will go with parentheses, and I will go with curly braces, and I am just going to cut the twin of the first image in here like so. Okay, but functions by themselves, they don't do anything. We will have to call them. The second animation and the third animation we are calling from this call second animation, but the first one we will have to call, and you can call the function basically just typing the name of the function and the parentheses. Now the thing is that in here we have declared the image 1, and we have added it to the stage. Then we have declared image 2, and we have added it to the stage. And we have declared the image 3, and we have added to the stage. So it's like if I would go and I would put image 1, then over the image 1 I would put image 2, and over the image 2 I would put image 3, like so. Okay, so this is what we have created with those first lines. And now when I go to the first animation, my image 1 is not going to be visible because image 2 and image 3 are going to be over that. So in the first animation, what I want to do is I want to go image 2, and I am going to set it visible to be equal to false. So I do not want to have at the beginning image 2 to be visible, and I am going to duplicate this with Ctrl D, or you can go Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and I want also image 3 visible to be false. So I want this to be invisible, so we are going to be able to see the image 1, and we are going to animate the image 1, okay? And after the animation of the image 1, we are going to call the second animation. So right now I will go to the second animation like so, and in the second animation I am making that image 1 visible is going to be false. That's fine, but I will have to right now make the image 2 visible is going to be true, because I have hide this. So what I will have to do is in the second animation. I'm going to say that image2 visible is going to be equal to be true, and yeah, and then we are just going to animate this, and we are going to call the thread animation. And in the thread animation, what I want to do is I want to make image2 visible to be false, but I will have to make the image number 3, because image number 3 is hidden because of the first function. Okay, hopefully this makes sense. So this is going to be image number 3 visible, and this is going to be true. Okay, so right now, if I go with Control Enter, Command Enter, we are going to have this working. I will go with F12. So we are going to have the first one, then we are going to have the second one, and then we are going to have the third one, and then this is going to just stop like so. Okay, so yeah, this would be fine, but I would like to show you more things, how you can play with this, how you can loop this, how you can add some button, and so on. So yeah, now what I can do is in the thread animation, I can go ahead and I can type that I would like to call and I would like to call the first animation. Okay, so after the thread animation is finished, we would like to call the first animation. Okay, I will go with Control Enter one more time to see this. We are going to have the first one, then we are going to have the second one, then we are going to have the third one, and in the third one we are going to call the first one, but there is going to be an issue. Okay, we are not going to have anything. The thing is that we have the image2, we have hide this in the second animation. Okay, so when I go one more time to the first animation, the image1 is not visible. So in here, what I need to do is I need to go image1 visible is going to be equal to true. Okay, like so. So at the beginning, image1 is visible, and when it's visible and I am setting this to be visible, that's just fine. But then later on we are going to hide this in the second animation. So when we are going to loop one more time to the first animation, we will have to show it. So one more time, I know this. Let me do one thing, okay? Let me make the animation to be faster. I will go with 3 seconds. I will go with 3 seconds, and I will go with 3 seconds. So I do not need to wait as much time when we are going to have this. So we are going to have the first one. We are going to have the second one. We are going to have the third one. And after the third one, we are going to have the first one more time. We are going to have the second one more time. We are going to have the third one more time. But you can see that there is some kind of issue with this, okay? It's not animating anymore. Why it's not animating anymore? The reason is that at the beginning, let me put it like so. At the beginning, the image had the X in here like so. And then we created the Createjs animation, and we have positioned this to the left like so. Okay, but then when we call the loop one more time, the image is still here, so it has nowhere to move. Okay, so what I will have to do is for all of them at the beginning, I will have to say that image1.x is going to be equal to 0. At the first loop is going to be 0, we are going to set it to the 0, that's fine. But in the second loop, image2 would be on the -200. And we are animating it to -200, so it has nowhere to move. So I will have to restore this back to the 0 at the beginning like so. But not image, let me, I am in the wrong function, so I will cut this. In the first animation, I want to have image1x to be 0. In the second animation, I want to have image2, of course, because we are in the second one, to be 0. And in the third one, we would like to have image3x to be 0. I will go with Control Enter, and right now, if I don't have anything wrong, this is going to be looping these animations forever. So right now we have the third one, and then one more time we go to the first one, we go to the second one, we go to the third one, and this is going to be looping forever. Now, can we somehow stop this after some time, because Google Ads doesn't allow like more than 30 seconds? Yes, we can. Okay, so what I can do is I can create some kind of variable. So for example, let count, or I can create the let score. This really doesn't matter. So I am going to go, for example, the score. This is not really descriptional because we don't have any score. The count would be better, but yeah, it really doesn't matter. But I'm going to create let score is going to be equal to 0, and then in all of the functions I'm going to type score plus plus. This is the same as write plus equal 1. Basically it is going to increase by 1, but we can go with plus plus. Okay, and then I can just console.log score. This is just for us. Later on we would like to get rid of this console.logs. But yeah, so every time that we are going to call this function and we are going to play the animation, we are going to increase the score by 1. And for now we are going to console.log this. So I'm going to do this with all of the functions. So I'm going to also paste this in here like so, and I'm also going to paste this in here like so, and I will go with Control Enter. And if I go with F12, we can see that we have score 1. When we go to the second image, we have score number 2. When we go to the third image, we have score number 3. Then we are going to have number 4, and so on. So what I can do is I can create some if statement. So yeah, let me see. We are going to play the first animation. The score is going to be 1. The second animation score is going to be 2. Then we are going to play the third, score is going to be 3. Then we are going to loop. Score is going to be 4. In here, score is going to be 5. In here, score is going to be 6. Okay, and for example, in this thread animation, I can type that if score is going to be smaller than 6, only then I want to play this stuff like so. So I am just going to cut this, and I'm going to paste this in here like so. So basically right now what we are going to have is we are going to have the first animation, we are going to have the second animation, we are going to have the third animation, then one more time we are going to have the first animation, one more time we are going to have the second animation, and in the second animation we are going to call the third animation. But in the third animation right now the score is going to be 6. We can console.log that it is going to be 6, but we are going to have if score is going to be smaller than 6, which was in the first loop, but it's not in the second loop. Then we want to have all of this stuff. So nothing in here is going to happen, and we are going to stay with the image number 2. So I can go with Control Enter, Command Enter, and there we are going to have the first one. We are going to have the second one, we are going to have the third one, and then one more time we are going to have the first one, we are going to have the second one, and the second one is going to stop and nothing else is going to happen. If we would like to stop this after the thread animation played also twice, what we can do is we can get rid of this like so, and we can get rid of this like so, and we can go to the first animation, and in here I can just type if score is going to be smaller than 7. Then we want to play this stuff like so. So let me just cut this. So yeah, this is you can stop this anywhere that you want. I will just paste this like so, and yeah, I can go with tab to put it like this. But yeah, so this is, hopefully this makes sense. This is how you can stop this. Now, if we would like to create some kind of button, and that's going to be the last thing that I am going to show you, there is going to be not really like an issue, but something like an issue, and that's the if I am going to create new layer, and on this new layer I am going to create some kind of button. So I will just go to the rectangle tool, and I am going to choose maybe black color like so. I can go to these rectangle options and make this to be 20. They're just going to make the corner to be radius, but that's not important right now. So I can create this kind of button, and I can go to the text tool, and I can get the white color, for example, and I can type in here like more info or anything, okay? And I am just going to position this like so. Right now, if I am going to have this like this and I will go with Control Enter, we are not going to be able to see the button because things that we get from the library are going to be over that, okay? So yeah, I am not really sure if it's possible to have something on the stage which is going to be visible when you are adding things from the library. Probably, maybe not. But what I can do is I can convert this button to the symbol. So I'm going to select the shape and also the text, and I will go with F8, and I can call this to be just BTN, okay, or BTN info. That's really up to you. But right now I would like to position, I want this to be movie clip, but the registration point I would like to put to the center. Okay, and I'm going to click OK. And I want this to be in the center because when I am going to add it from the library, it is going to appear in here like so. And if I'm going to make this to be x150, which is like the half of the stage, it is going to be in the center. And when I'm going to say the Y position to be 300, it is going to be in the center. But yeah, you will see, I will delete this. I will go to the library. I can create the, I have to create the linkage name. So this is going to be BTN or BTN info. I can call this to be BTN info. And I will delete this layer and I will go to my code. And right now I would like to have the button to be over my images. So I do not want to make this in here, but I want to make this in here. So I am going to one more time type let btn info is going to be equal to new library btn info like so, okay. And then what I can do is one more time stage.add child, and we are going to add child, which is going to be btn info, and I'm just going to paste this, copy this and paste this like so. And yeah, so right now if I would go with Control Enter, Command Enter, we are going to have our button in there. So now as I told you, I can go with the btn info.x is going to be 150. That's just the half of the stage, and it is going to be in here. And if I'm going to make the y position, the y position at the top is 0 and at the bottom is 600. So if I'm going to make the btn info y to be 150, it is going to position me this in here. If I would make this to be 300, which is the half of the stage for the Y position, it is going to be in the center and so on. So if I would like to position this to the bottom, I can go maybe like 450 and yeah. So I can position this like so. I can do the same thing with some kind of text and yeah. And now we can do the same thing with the Createjs animation. So let me I can just type this. You can copy this if you want, but I can type in here Createjs just to practice little bit .tween. We would like to get, what we would like to get is we would like to get btn info like so, okay. And we would like to go to parentheses, curly braces, and right now I would like to go to alpha to be 1, and we would like this to happen in 3 seconds like so. But this is not going to do anything because by default the alpha is going to be 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make at the beginning the alpha of this btn to be 0. So I'm going to type btn info dot the alpha is going to be equal to 0. And basically right now it is at the beginning going to be 0, and from the beginning we are going to change this to 1 in 3 seconds. So I can go with Control Enter, Command Enter, and you are going to see that we are going to have the animation of the button like so. You can also get this, I can cut this like so, and for example I want the button to appear when we are going to have the second animation, so I can go ahead and paste it in here. So Createjs tween get button info in the second animation. So I will go with Control Enter, and at the first one we are not going to have anything, but it is going to be called on the second animation. Or what we can do, but this is going to be really the last thing that I'm going to show you, is we can use something which is like a set timeout function. So what I can do is I can create the function which is going to be make btn parentheses and curly braces, and I can paste this in here like so. So yeah, and right now what I could do at the beginning is I can call this, so I can call make btn, and it is just going to call it at the beginning, or I could call make btn in the second animation and it is going to call that function in the second animation like so. So that's also the option. But what I can do is at the beginning I can type set timeout like so. So the T has to be capital, the O doesn't have to, cannot be capital, so it's like so. So set timeout, and then the parentheses and the function that we want to call. So we want to call make button. And when we want to call this, after 5 seconds, not 50,000, but 5,000. So basically, this is just at the beginning, we have the function and we are calling this with the set timeout, and set timeout, we are calling the function make btn. And when we want to call this from the start, we want to call this after 5 seconds. So right now, if I go with Control Enter and I will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. so yeah, and this way with the set timeout function, for example, I can have like some kind of text, for example, and I can set timeout to be 10,000, and I can show the text after 10 seconds, and so on. So yeah. The last thing that I'm going to show you is how you can export this, but if you want to have more info about how you can prepare banners like this for the Google Ads, I said I will put a link in the description for the tutorial. But yeah, I will have to save this, so I will go with Ctrl S and I will go to the place where I want to have this. So I will go to the tutorial folder, and I'm going to create new folder which I'm going to call to be animate, and I'm just going to call this to be kitchens, okay, and I'm going to click save. So right now, if I would go to the place where I have my animate file, I am just going to have some animate file, some recover animate file, but that's the same. But once when we save this, and I will go with Ctrl Enter to see this in the browser in Adobe Animate, it is automatically going to publish me some JavaScript, some HTML, and some images. I will delete this from here because I would like to put this to the separated folder. So in the animate, I can go to the file, I can go to the publish settings, and I can click this select publish destination, and I can just go to the place where I want to have this. You can create any folder in your PC anywhere, but I will go to the place where I have my animate file. It is in here, we cannot see it, but it's there. And in here, I will create new folder, which I will call index. We used to call this index and send it as an index to our clients, but yeah, I'm going to call it index, and this one I can also call index, but the name is optional, and I'm just going to click save, okay, file, and publish. And right now, if I go to the place where I have my index folder, I am going to have some images, I am going to have some HTML, and I'm going to have a JavaScript. And if I'm going to double click on this HTML, it is going to open me this like so. One thing is that I would get rid of this console.logs that we have, so I am not going to do it right now, but this console.log, I would delete it because yeah. One thing is with this publish settings, but that's the last thing that I will show you. I can go to the file, I can go to the publish settings, and in here we have an option as a texture. And when I'm going to have this as a texture, I can go to the image settings, and I have just option for the quality 8 or 32. But when I have a texture, it is going to be PNG. So even though I can go with 32, that's fine, and I can go file and publish. So even though my images are JPEGs, if I go to the images folder on the publish thing, and I'm going to look at this is going to be index atlas something.png. So it is going to convert everything to the PNG. So if I would like to have this as a JPEG, I am going to delete this. all of this in the index folder. So right now index folder is going to be empty, and I will go to the file and I will go to the publish settings, and I'm going to change this from texture to the sprite sheet. And when I have the sprite sheet, I can go to the image settings, and in here right now I have an option if I want to have this as a PNG, I want to have this as a JPEG, or I would like to have the both. The both is the best options, because when you have also PNGs and also JPEGs, it is going to create one image with the JPEGs and one image with the PNGs. So I'm going to choose both. PNG settings, we don't have PNG, so it really doesn't matter. And the quality of the JPEG, this is the thing that you can use to play with the file size. So I'm going to keep this as 80. I will go file and I will go with publish. And right now if I go to my images, I'm going to have the JPEG, and it's going to be like 190 kilobytes. If this is like too big, so what you can do is you can go to the file, you can go to the publish settings, and you can change this to maybe 60, like so. Okay, and file and publish, and right now you are going to have the smaller file and so on. But this is the things that I explained in the tutorial for the Google Ads. So yeah, basically this is it. This is all. I hope that you are going to be able to use this in some kind of your projects. If you want to have more info about Createjs Animations, I'm going to put a link in the description for the tutorial. And yeah, this is it. This is all. If anyone have been here until the end, you can write me that in the comments. But yeah, thank you very much. Have a nice day and goodbye.